If you visited Argentina recently, you will almost certainly have learned one of the following. 1, to ride a horse like a true gaucho. 2, to tango like your life depended on it. Or 3, that Evita wasn't just a Western musical. Aiden was feeling lucky as he left for Buenos Aires and thought he'd go for a triple.
SureTours' latest invitation was to join them in a place that translates as City of Our Lady St. Mary of the Fair Winds. Little wonder it's been such a magnet to immigrants and tourists for centuries. The locals represent a cross-section of continentals who came in search of sunny skies and opportunity and found both.
I believe this area of Caminito has a history that's as colorful as its houses.
Yeah, you are completely correct. The history of Caminito is on the Italian immigrants that they used to live here in this area. And the reason why the houses are so colorful, as you can see, is because they used to work in the port, in the harbor, and with the remains of the paint, after painting the ships, they come here and paint their houses.
Locals are known as porteños, or people of the port. They're also people of the capital city.
Well, Thomas, another colorful house, but this time the House of Government.
Yes, this is a famous Casa Rosada, the pink house in English. This is the government house, the office of the president. This is the place where she comes every day to work.
Their first woman president, Cristina Fernandez, credits her own rise to the feistiness of Evita Perón.
This was where Evita spoke for last time. That was the time where she would say, "People, I cannot be your vice president. I'm sick."
But it's also where Madonna stood.
Why Madonna?
Oh, Madonna. Just give me a moment. Always wanted to try this. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
The truth is I never left you. All through my wild days, my mad existence, I kept my promise. Don't keep your distance.
Recoleta Cemetery is the oldest on town, and this cemetery have like a street system. So from each street we have many families. Each family have a grave, and as you can see in the top we have the head of the family, and then many floors underground for the rest.
The most famous address is occupied by the most famous citizen.
This is Evita's final resting place.
From what I've read, it took a really long time to get here.
Yeah, she died in 1952, and the body was embalmed, and after 3 years that she spent in the union office, she was kidnapped by the Perón opponents, and after 20 years that she spent in Italy, in Milan, but under a different name, the new wife of Perón recovered the body and she buried here.
The army couldn't stop her rise to power, but cancer did at the age of 33. This rousing history, stories of the Spanish conquistadors, it's all in the air you breathe. Even in the lobby of an international hotel, like the capital's Intercontinental, you still feel immersed in the Argentine experience.
Martin, how do you capture the flair of this wonderful city in your hotel?
Well, the hotel is very centrally located in the historic center of the city, which means that the guest has a very easy access to visit the historic sites, the cultural sites, and we have used a lot of the typical Argentinian design elements when the hotel was built.
The influence of the city's French, Spanish, Italian, even German design has been widely used in the decor. But to stay in and order room service would be a travesty. So Aiden went in search of the culinary soul of the place.
This one is matambre. It's like a flank of the cow with eggs on it. We roll it up and then we cook it for 8 hours. And the other one is empanada with the turnover. It's the same dish you can find everywhere in Argentina, but the fields will be different in different city where you're gonna be.
Beef farming is more national talent than industry, and the local cowboys and their rides are its stars.
The gaucho is the rough, tough hero of the South American grasslands. Women love him, and men want to be like him. I'm keen to unravel this myth and see if some of his machismo can rub off on me. Amigo!
They're known as strong, honest, silent types, a potent Argentine symbol in the face of outside influence.
Why is the gaucho so important to the Argentinian culture?
The gaucho is one of the bases of our country. He born the mix between the native in Argentina with the Spanish conquistador. Today the gaucho represents Argentina, mostly the countryside culture that we have here.
Descended from people who grazed cattle and hunted on the Patagonian grasslands, a gaucho always held his horse as his most valuable possession. And in a game of skill, he shows that horse and rider
Hey, bravo!
are in fact one.
Hey, Gato. But that ring is tiny. It might as well be an engagement ring. Gato, you better help me, eh?
For people who've grown up on horses, Aiden's attempt was brave. And he didn't give up easily. There's always strategy.
Oh, Gato. All right, Gato. Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely not the Lord of the Rings. Gato, back to the drawing board, bud. Come.
Proving more an alcho than a gaucho, he'd also heard the local word for cowboy refers to a steak sauce, very popular around these parts. And knowing how the Argentinians prize a well-cooked piece of meat, he saw a chance to redeem himself.
So the good news is, there's another way the gaucho's got the goal. And as a South African, ik weet om te praten. Hi.
Hi, Aiden.
Good.
How are you?
I've noticed the Argentinians really love their meat.
Yes, you're right. We're very passionate about barbecue, and we call it parrilla. And now it is a tradition all over Argentina. We cook it in a different way, always with only salt and patience.
In South Africa, we love to braai with our family and friends. Is it the same here in Argentina?
Yes, it is the same in Argentina. Get together the family and friends, always on Sunday. It is a tradition on Sunday, but the other days of the week too. In fact, we love meat so much that you probably find, I don't know, 1 or 2 people in Argentina vegetarian, and they are crazy.
The other staple of any self-respecting gaucho's diet is this caffeine-rich brew.
What is yerba mate?
Yerba mate is a plant of the north part of Argentina. It is like green tea. We drink it all the time. We use it to share with family and friends, and it makes you lose weight and gives you a lot of energy.
Tastes really good. It's kind of bittersweet, and it gives you energy, right? I think I'm gonna need some energy for what I got planned next. Cheers.
He'd returned to the city, as it's here that possibly the greatest of Argentina's institutions was born.
I understand the tango's got a lot to teach about love and loss, about how to lead and how to follow, and most importantly, how to live with style and flair. It's a good thing I've got a lesson with one of Argentina's best.
Traditionally, the tango dancing schools were men-only affairs. Thank goodness for women's lib. Aiden took confidence from what he'd read about this dance being likened to walking with music.
One to the side.
You can also improvise, and with Elizabeth leading, anything was possible.
So the lady stay in front of you. You need to take me back and keep the lady inside of your frame.
Okay. Now I know the tango started in Argentina, but how exactly did it begin?
Yeah, let me explain. So the first part of the tango was important, the relation of the hips, because in the first part of the century, people who dance tango is in the bordels, so the prostitute. That's the idea of the legs, of the movements. But after 40s, the tango changes completely, because the middle social class dance tango, looking for one person, for your wife or your husband. So feelings is important. That's why we try to connect in the hug. Aiden is super. He has a good rhythm. He is good.
I think the attraction for the tourist is obvious. It's a way to connect with an Argentinian, experience their culture, and learn a new form of dance. But to top it off, it's sexy.
Learning of this country's culture in the embrace of Elizabeth here, how could he not make a connection? Sure Travel puts you in the picture this week. Make memories that last a lifetime with holiday packages from Sure Travel. Details on the website and in top billing.